Welcome to Phase 3, Creating Your Plan. To review, here are the implementation phases the toolkit follows in order to achieve a successful ICD-10 transition. By now, you may be well into your impact assessment tasks and milestones in Phase 2. Remember, depending on the size and structure of your organization, you can skip milestones that are not applicable, and you will most likely have uncompleted Phase 2 tasks and milestones that will carry into this and possibly the next phase. As an example, you may be waiting on one of your key insurance payers for answers to your questions about their ICD-10 readiness. As we discussed in the first video, your implementation plan is being created as you assign and accomplish the tasks and milestones contained in Phase 2. Along with continuing to assess and address ICD-10's impact, there exist 3 additional goals in Phase 3. Selecting the ICD-10 training your organization will need, creating and analyzing estimated versus allocated budget, and distributing the results of your chart reviews to your providers. Let's take a look at the training milestone. Remember, wherever possible, we created content and options so you would not have to. The suggested training topics, times, and attendees we provided combined to create the foundation of your training plan. Pick and choose what is most appropriate. You should expect to make changes based on experience, skill level, and organizational structure. For example, some organizations may outsource coding or billing. Use the impact assessment findings to identify additional needs and customize this plan as required. Be sure to include training in areas other than the ICD-10 code set, such as using new software, process changes, and documentation improvement. You can monitor training progress and print a copy of your training plan in Phase 4. Once you select a training item, simply create the task. Assign training assignments through the list editing function and start and due dates the same way we demonstrated in the first video by creating a task. While we are showing you this section, let's go ahead and enter staff hours and estimate $10,000 in the training budget area. We'll show you how these figures are tracked in the budget review section we'll cover next. Now let's take a look at the budget review itself. By now, you've estimated numerous budget items during your work in Phase 2 and also begun to allocate dollars toward the transition project. You may have found you will be required to bring in outside expertise to update your EHR templates and problem lists. Your IT experts may have indicated outdated servers or workstations need to be replaced due to the increased load of running a dual ICD-9, ICD-10 coding system. Being able to accurately forecast and estimate an ICD-10 implementation budget is one of the biggest challenges during the transition. With a toolkit, it's a snap. As we look at the budget review, you can see we did not allocate sufficient funds for some cost centers. The template and problem list upgrade was under budgeted. Same for replacement of the server and workstations. Here's the sample estimate we entered for training. The impact assessments revealed we allocated less than we are now estimating for each of these items. The running total at the bottom tells us our estimated budget exceeds the amount of dollars we allocated. This means we either have to redistribute funds or find additional dollars to allocate. Having real-time budget figures prevents surprises and allows your organization to quickly react when shortfalls occur. As actual costs come in, we can enter these for a far more accurate picture. We'll continue to monitor this item in Phase 4. Finally, let's take a look at the chart review results. Remember from our discussion in Phase 2, results from your chart reviews reveal shortfalls in the provider's documentation that may lead to an inability to select specific ICD-10 codes. This could result in denied or pended claims. The chart review results are an excellent way to get your provider's attention and create awareness. Don't forget to use the results as training opportunities. For example, you could say, Doctor, only 40% of your sample chart documentation would have resulted in the ability to choose a specific ICD-10 code. But documenting this one additional element for ICD-10 will allow us to choose a more specific code, clinically justify the medical necessity for this procedure or service, and likely result in our claim being successfully submitted and paid. Here's what we've learned in this video. As we continue to complete milestones, the toolkit is actually creating our project plan. Additional goals and objectives in this phase include the selection of ICD-10 training events, creating and assessing estimated versus allocated budget, and sharing our chart review results with our provider. Next, we'll talk about Phase 4, implementing the project plan.